Hello, hello, hello. All none of you that are here because I'm a little bit early. Oh, look, there's three of you. How are you doing? I do have the dual chats going, so if you think you're in the wrong chat, hit the other icon for the show. Hello, Mickey Griggs. How are you? What's going on? Hey, Wyatt Earp. How are you? What's going on? I wanted to talk a little bit about this David case. Before I do that, hang on one second. I want to play this first.
Please be advised the following content contains themes and subject matter that may be unsettling, intense, or unsuitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
All right, so let's see what's going on. MonQT7SY, hi. I'm not sure who you are, but welcome to the show. We're going to talk a little bit about David. For those of you that normally join my show, I do apologize. I haven't been on for quite a while. Quite frankly, YouTube's been sickening to me. So I've just been staying away from it. But let's see what's new in the David case. Apparently, it's being reported that David allegedly bought chainsaws to dispose of Celeste Rivas. Give me a minute here, guys. Let me look something up here. As we know, he's charged with capital murder. Let's see what the New York Post has to say. David talked about losing relationships in an interview after he allegedly unalived Celeste Rivas. Only hours after he allegedly stabbed 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, singer David gave an interview talking about how losing relationships inspired his upcoming album. David, whose real name is freaking pop-up ads. I hate these things. Pardon me, guys. Let me get rid of these. David, whose real name is David Burke, participated in an interview April 24th, 2025, the day after he allegedly unalived Rivas at his Hollywood Hills home to talk about his new album, according to legal documents. An interview with David Burke on the Zach Sang Show was released April 28th, 2025, meaning the timing of the release would potentially line up with the interview mentioned in legal documents. During the interview, Burke was eerily nonchalant, smiling, joking throughout while he talked about the creative process behind his newly released album, Withered. Basically, guys, they're alleging that hang on one second. They are alleging that, give me a minute here. They are alleging that she had threatened to expose him for what was going on with their relationship. That's what's being said as the motive. Now, I do have 50 of you watching the show. Feel free to comment if you'd like to comment. I'll even drop the link if any of you would like to come up. Hello again, Wyatt Earp. How are you? If any of you would like to comment and talk about what's going on with the David case, we can also talk about some other things in the news. Give me a minute here. I want to look up and see what Reuters has to say about it. Give me 1 second here. Oh, this is frustrating here. No, I don't want legal. No, I don't want commentary. Give me a minute here. Freaking stinking pop-up ads. Oh my gosh. So how's everybody been doing lately? Like I said, guys, I know I haven't been on here much. I do apologize. Did you hear about all the hail in Missouri? No, what's going on? Tell me about hail in Missouri. Tell me about that. Here we go. Prosecutors detail horrifying steps singer David took to dismember girl's body. Before we go further, let me just do this again. Hold on. Baseball size hail? Holy shite.
Please be advised the following content contains themes and subject matter that may be unsettling, intense, or unsuitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
All right, now that I have that done, let's scroll down and let's read this. April 29th. So this was yesterday. LA County prosecutors filed a court brief on Wednesday detailing horrifying steps they said indie pop musician David took to dismember and conceal the body of a teenage girlfriend, allegedly stabbing her to unaliving last April. I believe that would be April 2025. According to the document outlining evidence, prosecutors plan to present in their case the singer-songwriter placed the victim's corpse in a blue inflatable pool to prevent blood from spilling onto the garage floor, then removed her limbs with a chainsaw and perhaps other tools. The brief said that David, pronounced David, 21, whose legal name is David Burke, had purchased the pool, 2 chainsaws, a shovel, a cadaver bag, and other materials online under a fictitious name and had them delivered to his Hollywood Hills home after the unaliving. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How is it possible to go online and buy a cadaver bag? I realize they use a fictitious name, but can anybody purchase a cadaver bag? 2 fingers on the girl's left hand, one of them tattooed with Burke's name, had been amputated but were not recovered, prosecutors said. According to the 8-page court filing, Burke was the last person to drive the vehicle on July 29th, 2025, before he left it abandoned near his home and departed on a concert tour. Weeks later, the car was towed to an impoundment lot where workers reported the odor of decay and alerted authorities. Wednesday's court brief, a copy of which was posted by CBS News, also offered prosecutors first mention of a motive in the unaliving. They said Burke was out to silence the girl because she had grown jealous of him and threatened to ruin his burgeoning music career by going public with damaging information about their relationship. Burke's first studio album was due for the release that month and had secured highly profitable product endorsements at the time, the DA's office said. Well, good for him. According to prosecutors, the pair had a sexual relationship when the girl was as young as 11, and authorities recovered text messages and references to sex, pregnancy, abortion, and Plan B emergency contraception, as well as sexually explicit photos. On April 23, 2025, the day after they quarreled over her threats to expose him, according to the court brief, Burke sent her in an Uber ride, then stabbed the victim to death after she arrived. Okay, he sent for her. Okay, that's what that's supposed to say. Yes, you can buy them on Amazon. Seriously? Hi, Heather. How are you, sweetheart? Hey, Strupit. How are you, sweetheart? $20. I don't know what's more horrifying, the fact that you could actually just go online and buy a cadaver bag, or the fact that Wyatt Earp here knows how much they cost. Okay, that could be a little stressful. The document then outlines horrifying measures Burke allegedly took to destroy and discard the victim's body. It says a search of his garage in September found evidence of dismemberment, including blood samples and remnants of an inflatable pool with multiple linear cuts. Okay, see, that just shows premeditation. I mean, Burke gained fame in 2022 after songs he recorded on his phone for his Fortnite brand gaming videos went viral on TikTok, with the hit single Romantic Homicide helping him sign a deal with Interscope Records. He performed at the Coachella Music Festival in 2025. We believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not unalive Celeste Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death, defense attorney Blair Burke said during his April 20 arraignment, where he pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder and other charges. I don't know. I mean, the only thing that's questionable is that he bought these items under an assumed name. That could be reasonable. I looked it up on eBay, says Wyatt. I don't know. That actually, I mean, I could see purchasing. It boils down to they have to prove, okay, that it was a fictitious name used to purchase these items, but whose credit card were they purchased on? That's what I would want to know, because this is what the defense now, and I'm not saying he didn't do it, but this is what the defense attorney is going to say. You need to prove that David was the one sitting behind the computer ordering those items. You need to prove he was driving that car and didn't send somebody else to drive the car. That's what they're going to have to prove. That's the kind of stuff they're going to have to prove. And a good defense attorney is going to say that. They're going to try and remove, or they're going to try and prove reasonable doubt. That's what you pay attorneys for, right? I don't know. I guess, I don't know. Does anybody want to come up and chat? You guys don't ever want to come up and chat. I would love for some of you to come up and chat. In one section, I have 350 acres to bury evidence. This is why I think the defense backed down to everything being hurried when they saw all the evidence, because of all of a sudden they aren't ready. And that's another thing. Yeah, the defense was hurry. And then the prosecution came out with all this evidence. I think you're right, Heather. I think defense kind of got a little cocky, going, let's speed this along. And I don't think they realize what prosecution has. Breaking news: a guy walked into our local Walmart and started a fire in the boys department, then went to the jewelry department. Are you kidding me, Mickey? Right now? Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can't, let's see if it's online yet. Walmart fire. Should I Google Walmart fire? Let's see what that says. Here we go. All right, I have to find something that doesn't have video, because I don't want to get nabbed by YouTube. And this is from the Cecil Wig. Some publication. Elkton. Hold on one second. Investigators are trying to identify a man who intentionally set ablaze inside the Walmart Supercenter on Wednesday night to serve as a distraction while he stole merchandise from a jewelry counter, according to the Maryland Office of the state fire marshal. No one was injured during the incident, which occurred at approximately 7 p.m. inside the store in the 1000 block of East Pulaski Highway. Fire officials said customers and employees, customers and employees immediately evacuated the store. Singerly Volunteer Fire Company and other area fire departments extinguished the fire in the boys' clothing section within minutes of arriving. The fire caused an estimated $85,000 in damage, according to fire officials, who noted that although the store is equipped with fire sprinklers, the blaze did not reach a high enough temperature to properly activate them. Fire detectives concluded that the fire had been set as a diversion. Investigators determined the suspect used a camp fuel and fireworks from the store to ignite a shelf of boys' clothing. During the evacuation, the suspect forced entry into the jewelry counter and stole a small amount of merchandise. Master Deputy Fire Marshal Oliver Akir summarized. Now, let me ask you a question. All right. Walmart jewelry. You're setting a fire. Okay, first of all, I have worked in the clothing industry, and while clothing is very highly flammable, what people don't understand is clothes that are sold retail get sprayed down with a temporary, like, fire resistant spray. Now, it's not going to keep it from, and especially if the fire gets too hot, of course, things are going to burn, yes, but it will slow down enough that you can get it under control. Hey, Angel, how are you, sweetie? It looks like it happened last night, Mickey Griggs. Yes, Angel, happy belated birthday. You're stealing Walmart jewelry. I cannot think of a jail sentence that's worth that. I just can't. I mean, and it even said a small amount. It didn't even say it wiped them out completely in the jewelry department. It just said a small amount of jewelry. I mean, at best, what are you looking at? Maybe even if you grabbed everything that's under the glass, and like, I know sometimes they put jewelry up on the counter and, on those roundabouts. Even if you stole all that, maybe $500 worth of jewelry. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't, like, I seriously think you'd have a better haul stealing from the appliance department. I mean, you could at least get a $300-400 vacuum cleaner there, right? Like, what the hell? Oh my God. First of all, the arson alone has its own charges, then the theft. And I can't see it being a grand larceny. I mean, like I said, well, I mean, I think the arson charges are going to be more than the theft charges, to be honest with you. Who the hell steals jewelry from Walmart like that? I mean, this isn't like some teenager that wants to, like, can't afford it, but wants something for his girlfriend or something. Like, you seriously set fire to an entire department to rob the jewelry section at Walmart? I know, Wyatt, but like I said, I mean, is it even worth $1,000? Like, I don't know state by state, but I know like grand larceny is anything over $1,000, right? So if you steal like $300-400 worth of Walmart jewelry, it's still theft. It might be a petty larceny. But I mean, the fire charges alone are going to put you in jail longer. It's not even worth it. And the fact that do they think that they're going to bypass the cameras? Because even with a fire, Walmart has cameras everywhere. I mean, what the heck? And where were you last night, Mickey? Greg's around 7 p.m. That's what I want to know. What the heck? Mickey, thank you for pointing that to my attention. That is bizarre. Let me see if I can't find more on it. What? Okay, so they did catch the guy on camera. He had dark hair, glasses, and it actually looks like he's wearing a Walmart vest, but I don't think it is. He's wearing a face mask. Remember the COVID era face masks? Oh my gosh. Seriously? People are seriously setting things on fire at Walmart? Hey Jesse, hope you're doing well. I was watching the news. Right, or at least, right, Mickey, at least at the electronic department or the appliances, or I mean, heck, I'm pretty sure even if you go into like, you know, the medication section, you can steal more value in Tylenol than you can in their jewelry department, right? Oh, you were watching the news at 7 o'clock, Mickey? I want proof. I want proof of it. I want video. I want your wife on video and you watching the news. I want a timestamp on it, and I want a real timestamp. None of that AI crap, Mickey Craigs. No. I wouldn't use it. You wouldn't use what? Oh, I wouldn't risk it. No, that just was not. And the guy looks young. Let me see if I can't pull up a picture of him. Picture of Walmart suspect. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, those are, I think I need to make it. Here we go. Let me see if I can pull this up without. Guys, if you hear sirens, that's in the background here. All right, here we go, guys. Do you see that? How well can you see that? Let me see if I can't expand it. Like, he looks young. He looks really young. Um, yeah, that's bringing up the story, I believe. Didn't want to do that. Well, here's a picture of another guy charged at a Clovis Walmart. Holy heck. How many people set fire? Oh my gosh. Apparently this is a trend, guys. Apparently there's a few people that have set fire to Walmarts. I'm trying to pull up a large enough picture. This kid right here, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to steal the jewelry because Mother's Day is coming up. Hey, Jennifer 4x4, how are you? Yeah, I know, but seriously, if you would have just like went over and grabbed a few items of Walmart jewelry, he's going to get charged more for the fire, I guarantee you, than the amount of jewelry that he stole. Like, so maybe you get a little shoplifting charge or so. Look, I'm not recommending people, they're desperate. I'm not recommending people go rob Walmart or anything, but I just the intelligence of criminals lately just astounds me. First of all, there's cameras everywhere. You're not getting away with squat anymore. You might get away with it for a while until somebody identifies you. But it's arson and attempted robbery. Right. You just added a charge. Why didn't you just go grab the shit and try to shoplift it? Again, I am not condoning stealing from anywhere. But why are you going to add a whole separate charge that might be even worse than what you're looking at for the initial charge anyway? And it's not even attempted robbery. It is robbery because from the way the article reads, he got away with a little bit of stuff. Oh my gosh. Like, people are crazy. The cops would just arrest at home while you were would just arrest at home while you were sleeping. What do you mean by that? If he just would have shoplifted? Yeah, but now he's added a whole nother charge with the arson. I mean, stupid. Seriously. Go hit the electronics or the friggin' appliances, I could probably steal more value in toasters for Kathy than than what he got at the Walmart jewelry counter. Seriously. And no, again, I'm not condoning stealing. And no, I'm not going to go steal any toasters. If he had just shot, seriously, Mickey, exactly. Like, what the heck? You know, if you would have just shoplifted some Walmart jewelry, you get slapped on the wrist for a couple $100, you know, you bail out, you know, whatever, get a petty little larceny charge on you. And it might be a felony. I don't know. I guess it, like I said, I think in some states it depends on how much you steal, but how much Walmart jewelry could you seriously steal that's going to be any sort of charge compared to now you have an arson charge. Now you just put multiple people's lives in danger. You know, crazy stuff going on. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know. What's today? Is today Thursday? Is anybody else on tonight? Oh, guys, if you haven't already, check out Angel's interview with Kevin. I can't pronounce his last name. I apologize. It just dropped yesterday. I actually had to rewatch it. I started watching it and got distracted. I don't think anybody's coming on tonight. I might come on again tonight a little bit later to see what's going on. But I have, like I said, I have been staying away from YouTube the past couple days because I just have not been liking what I've been seeing. We'll leave it at that. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else is going on in the news. Holy heck. Guys, the Homeland Security shutdown has ended. So there's some news. I don't like to get too much into politics. So, man accused in Trump's assassination attempt agrees to remain in custody. He agrees to remain in custody? Like, I wouldn't think he had a choice. What in the actual F? Suspect Cole Allen agrees to remain in custody as case proceeds. Prosecutors allege Allen planned attack on Trump and officials at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Defense questions evidence, notes Allen's lack of criminal record. The man accused of attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump at a black tie press gala in Washington agreed on Thursday to remain in custody while his case moves forward. The suspect, Cole Allen, 31, would not immediately contest prosecutors' arguments that he was a danger to the community and should remain in jail. His attorney, Tazira Abe, said during the court hearing. Allen allegedly stormed a security checkpoint and fired a shotgun outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. And I know this isn't new news, but I'm just catching up here, guys. Prosecutors argued Allen carefully planned to attack Trump and other officials in his administration as they dined with some 2,600 journalists, politicians, and others in a ballroom at the Washington Hilton Hotel. They alleged an illegal filing that Allen traveled by train from his California hometown to Washington armed with a shotgun, a .38 caliber pistol, as well as knives and daggers, and was willing to commit a mass shooting inside a room full of the highest ranking officials in U.S. government. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups. Allen is charged with attempted assassination, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and illegally transporting guns and ammunition across state lines. He has not yet entered a plea. In court filings, his defense lawyers highlighted that they called flaws in the government's case, including questions about whether Allen shot a U.S. Secret Service agent, as officials initially claimed. Allen's defense team said he had no prior arrests or convictions and was an active member of his Christian church family. Prosecutors have not alleged in court that Allen shot the agent, who officials said was struck by gunfire but was spared serious injury by his ballistic vest. Is that what they're calling him now? Ballistic vest? What about like just bulletproof vest? Allen is accused of firing the shotgun toward a set of stairs that led down to the ballroom. A U.S. Secret Service agent heard a loud bang, and spent casing was found in the barrel of the shotgun, according to the court documents. Prosecutors allege Allen intended to target Trump, citing an email Allen allegedly sent to relatives on the night of the shooting, in which he appeared to refer to Trump as a traitor and a criminal. The email does not mention Trump by name, but refers to targeting administration officials from highest to lowest rank. Okay, so there's that. So he agreed. I didn't know he had a choice. I had just shot, but if he. Oh, is Angel on tonight? Angel, are you on tonight? Are you still in chat? Let me see. Oh, okay, you're on. Okay, I'll be there. All right, what time are you on, Angel? You know, I've heard a lot of people say that they don't believe 9:15. Okay, Angel's on at 9:15 tonight, guys. Then I guess I won't go on later tonight. And Angel, I do apologize. I wasn't feeling well last night, but happy belated birthday, sweetie. You know, there's a lot of people that think the assassination attempt was faked. It was a setup. I don't. And I'll tell you why. And again, I'm not saying anybody deserves this, because nobody deserves this, but that man has angered a lot of people. And there's a lot of crazy people in this world. And when you anger crazy people, you get crazy things that happen. So I do believe that attempt was very real. Oh, no. Not at all. Not at all, Angel. Don't delay. Don't delay at all. No, I'll be off by 9:15. I just figured if nobody else was on later, I would pop on around like 9 or 10. But if you're coming on, that's perfect. I'll be there as well, Angel. Happy belated birthday, Angel. Yep, Mickey Griggs wishes you a happy belated birthday. No, it's not. I don't need to come on. It was just one of those. I just figured maybe I would pop on later if no one else was. But quite frankly, many people, myself included, would probably rather go to your show than mine. I mean, as you can tell by my hopping chat room here. But that's okay. I don't care. You know, if I get 8 people that stop in and say hello or 800, I'm happy with that. The fact that people took the time to stop by to the show and contribute to the chat. Mickey Griggs, I'm over here now. Yeah. Well, you're welcome over here, Mickey Griggs. You know that. There's a lot of people that are welcome over here. They just don't want to come over here, I guess. I don't know. You know, I just don't like the drama and the chaos and the I like to chit chat, you know. And to be quite honest, if YouTube wasn't such a disgusting place, I would share more of my day and things that I do off of here, but you know, you can't even do that anymore. You can't share fun things. Like if people do something good or they do something fun, there's always something they did wrong, and that's what gets harped on, and I don't like any of that. I just rather let's just talk about current events and chill out. If there is something people would like to share, you're more than welcome to share it in the chat room. As long as it's not going to cause drama on YouTube, if you know what I mean. And you guys know what I mean. I'm kind of looking for something. I thought I uploaded it, but I guess I didn't. So we'll save it for another show. Here, guys, if you would like to donate, we have Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. I'm not monetized anymore, so these are your options. Not required, but appreciated. I managed to trigger people with just one sound. Well, Angel. Angel, your mere presence triggers people. I mean, pardon the phrase, Angel, but you could walk into a room and literally fart glitter and somebody would have something bad to say about it. You know what? I think I am going to say something, and this is all I'm going to say on this. All right. About that headstone. All right. This was something that Angel felt obligated to do. Okay. Angel didn't go, I'll crowdfund, I'll do this, I'll do that. People in her chat just started donating money for flowers and whatnot. And then it was suggested maybe not, maybe get a marker. And then it got bigger and let's do a headstone. And, Angel graciously felt obligated. So she graciously said, you know what? I'll take care of it. She goes and takes care of it and gets nothing but shit for it. That's all I had to say. I do realize there's a lot of people that donated to that feel slighted. But there was a choice to walk away from Angel's channel, and you chose to walk away, but then you want to be welcomed back. And again, I'm not trying to start shit. I'm just saying, every decision we make in our life has a consequence. This was kind of pushed on Angel, and she did a gracious job about getting it done. And for those of you that complain about what the headstone looked like, was it an $1,800 headstone? Guys, do you know what? That headstone looks pretty damn good for $1,800. Mind you, I want to tell you guys, we had my mother cremated. No headstone. She's in an urn. She's cremated. And that alone costs $3,000. You're not going to get marble-faced stand-up headstones for $1,800. I don't know where the fuck you people think you're getting these ideas from. Do you guys even know how much headstones cost? There was the chicken pot pie gate. Now we have the headstone gate. I know. I didn't really think it was funny because now, Angel, there's people saying, oh, well, we want our money back. Really? Really? Such a very nice Christian people to donate money for a headstone and then want it back. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hi, Podcast Warehouse. How are you, sweetie? Hope you're feeling better. I thought it looked really nice, too. It's an $1,800 headstone. That's what you get. Believe me, if she would have went for the cheaper grave marker that was originally suggested, it would have looked even worse. I don't know. I heard people saying that I don't necessarily know if they want it back, but they were alluding to that, Angel. Just got it. Yeah, take it easy, Podcast Warehouse. Yeah, it just, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Y'all chose to walk away and then don't understand, listen. If Podcast Warehouse right now said, Jesse, I don't want anything to ever do with your channel, and he walks away, do you think I'm going to go out of my way to invite him to come back? Well, maybe him, but not most of you people. That's the same kind I'm getting. What, the headstone, Mickey? Actually, Mickey, a lot of cemeteries are now requiring those flat headstones because I know the town I grew up in, the cemetery has more people in it than the living citizens. And back, yeah, I do. I have 2 separate chats again, Angel. I'm sorry. Difference is we are friends and we have been 10 years plus, so I won't stop being your friend over trivial nut jobs and nonsense. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been sitting on this for a couple days now, and I'm just like, it's so freaking petty. It's like, like I said, and I don't mean to say this to make you sound bad, Angel, but this was kind of pushed on you, was it not? Like, it wasn't like, you jumped up and said, hey, I'll do this and blah, blah, blah. It was kind of pushed on you and expected of you. And you graciously took it on without complaint while you were trying to grieve for your friend. That's the way I say it. It's the estrogen kicking in. Whose estrogen, Jeff? Mine or yours? No good deed goes unpunished. Hello, Anita Roach. How are you? It's your estrogen. Yeah, I know you're transitioning, Jeff. Not really, but I'll never do it again. No, I mean, I kind of, that's how I kind of saw it. And maybe I saw it wrong, but, as a creator, not necessarily something like that, but as a creator, I've seen people get pushed into situations like that. And then the minute something does not go the way somebody wants it to, it's all hell breaks loose. First of all, My dad was a landscaper. I'm going to tell you what right now. And I don't know about some of these people that are complaining about the headstone and how long it took, and you know how how the headstone looks cheap, and or I don't know if they said cheap. They said it didn't look nice, whatever. Okay, I don't know how many people y'all have buried, but I've buried enough people in my life to know, first of all, you're talking upstate New York. It's damn near Canada. All right. And there's a permanent frost line. I stopped caring when they called myself and others fake and tried to deny it. When they blocked me and were called out, they claimed it must have been a mistake. Hey, Anita, did I say hello, sweetie? First of all, you're damn near up near Canada when you're in upstate New York. All right. Come wintertime, that ground is frozen. All right. If you get 3 or 4 80 degrees days in April, does not mean the ground has thawed. All right. And it doesn't mean it's thawed enough. Now, even if the ground has started thawing, you also can't drop the headstone if the ground is too soft. You have to wait until it thaws and all the water dissipates and the ground is firm. Okay, just because there's 3 days of warm weather in April doesn't always mean it's perfect to put a setting in. Now, there's different ways. You can pour the concrete in the ground, you can pour the mold in the ground, or you can pre-pour the mold and then put it in the ground. But either way, if you pour it in the ground too early, all right, it's going to weaken. It's not going to cure right. The cement isn't going to cure right. You're going to get cracks. It's going to shift. It's going to be deformed, like it's going to malform. It's not going to sit right. It could sink. All right. Now, even if you pre-pour it and it's nice and hard and you drop it and it's too cold, when it does thaw, the water's going to crack it. It's going to misshape it. It's going to sink. All right. Enough said on that. I mean, the fact that they even most cemeteries in the Northeast, I hate to tell you all this, but most cemeteries in the Northeast won't even drop a tombstone or a headstone until May. So to get them to do it in the last week of April, it's a big deal. Mickey Griggs, I was responsible for all the arrangements. All right. Second of all, no. All right. That's it. That's all I want to go with that. I don't want to go any further with that because I don't want to be, apparently people don't understand about, and I know a lot of this from years of watching my dad drop trees into the ground and planting. And, I've also, like I said, I've buried enough people to know that, and let's face it, like I said, it's an $1,800, $2,000 headstone. That's what you get. You get a concrete border, and you get, was it copper, Angel? Do you know how much copper is? Do you guys even know what $1,800 worth of copper looks like? Come on now. And a lot of cemeteries now require those headstones because they don't get vandalized as often. It's easier for maintenance. They can mow right over them, and I've seen them do it. They'll mow right. Like, I hate to say it sounds disgraceful, but they will mow right over those headstones. That's part of why they require it. It's easier for maintenance. They don't have to go around weed whacking 600,000 tombs. tombstones. Um, I didn't see anybody else volunteering to help out with this. I do know one person from the other community went up there, and he was very tasteful about it, and that was appreciative. And um, first of all, from what I understand, where she's buried, everybody's like, "Oh, look at the ground around her," and it's all plain. And well, from what I understand, her funeral itself, like burying her, from what I was told, the state paid for it. It was like a $500 deal, which, basically is nothing more than a pine box being put 6 feet under. All right. And they do have special sections of the cemetery for that might be in the back 9 where a lot of people don't go. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I like him or I don't like the other headstones, Mickey Griggs. I think just for nowadays, with population and everything, it's too hard. They're too hard to maintain. There's too many of them. They get vandalized. Like I'm talking the stand-up headstones. Did they say the ground around her is bare? They were talking about, I think they were talking about the grave blanket not being there. And the grave blanket is supposed to cover up like the bare ground and everything. And I don't know. What do you expect, guy? I mean, what do these people expect? Seriously? Try burying somebody for $500 and getting them an $1,800 headstone and see how well see how extravagant. In back of her is just dirt, but in front is grass. I'll show the picture later on just for shits and giggles. I believe Angel. Listen. You know what? First of all, it's April. All right. That ground was just dug up right before the winter. Like, I'm not expecting freaking golf course grade grass to be around her. Okay. Nobody is. And nobody should. All right. It is what it is. Gamer guy, this lady talks too much. I'm out of here. Well, see you, gamer guy. Bye. Have a nice day. That's just, listen, and this is just my opinion on it. And I'm not going to argue with these people. I'm not going to fight with them. I think people have a certain level of entitlement. If you're disappointed, you're entitled to be disappointed. If you're upset because you feel you weren't invited, I guess you're entitled to feel upset that you weren't invited. But there's a lot of factors that went into this. A lot of these people that are upset that they didn't feel like they were invited chose to walk away and chose to. Now, listen, if they feel hurt, fine. Listen, like I said, they're entitled to feel hurt if they want to feel hurt. But to be petty and bitchy about it is a whole nother level. Hey, Scott, how are you? Gamer guy. Bye. Oh, that's fine. I mean, I understand some people are hurt or feel like they were left out, and I get it. That I do kind of understand. But how did they know you weren't gonna who's to say you weren't gonna call up their leader and go, "Hey, listen, look, you know, you guys are welcome to come out." They didn't know that. Nobody knew that. I mean, all I knew is you posted that video of Tammy at Edna's grave, and that was pretty much the announcement. I mean, what did they want? Did they want, an engraved invitation? Oh, look, here's the video. Well, that's what you did. You posted the video. You did what you said you were going to do. No, I think they felt like you were just going to do your birthday show, do the Edna thing and not include any of them. I think that's how they were feeling. Hi, Twisted Tea. How are you, sweetheart? Well, what was there to include? You posted the video. You know, were you supposed to knock on each and every one of their doors, Angel? Go, here you go. Here's the video. Like, I just don't. What was slick? I know you said thank you to everyone. I think they felt left out, Angel. That's the way I'm taking it. But left out of what? I mean, you got the video from Tammy, you took a day or two to edit it, and you put it up. What's the big deal? Like, I don't know what there was to be left out of. And again, like I said, look, I'm not looking to argue with anybody at all. I don't, I just here's my thing. I gave money too, so I'm going to put my opinion in. If you feel left out for whatever reason, sorry, that wasn't meant. Like, what was Angel to do? Like I said, mail out like engraved invitations. Like, I don't get it. They were being egged on. They wouldn't have said a thing. Evidently, they thought you should have included a big brass band for them. That's it. It needs to be about Edna. And everybody. And I mean that I wanted it to be a surprise. I know, right? Seriously. You wanted it to be a surprise. Shame on you, Angel. Shame, shame, shame on you. How dare you? No, I just feel bad because they're making it about themselves. I hate to tell you people, but you're going to be disappointed in a lot of things in your life. For those of you over there that did donate, thank you on behalf of everybody. I think you're making a big something out of nothing. I don't know how to say it. Like I said, Angel, I don't know what they want, engraved invitations. Like, you know, But I don't know. I mean, that's all I have to say about that. I don't have any. I wish I could get through it. Yeah. You and me both, Mickey Griggs. Same here. Mine got snapped off at the knees. um, it needs to be about Edna, and she finally has a headstone. And I don't know what you people want for, it doesn't matter who donated how much. Everybody that donated. All right. And I mean this truly and sincerely to everyone that donated. It's a very special thing you did. You know, again, I don't know how many people you buried, but I don't know what you expected for $2,000, but that's pretty damn good for $2,000. That's all I had to say about that. Anyway, what else is new? Are you going to come on and start trouble tonight, Angel? Angel's a troublemaker. I don't know. I needed to cool down for a day or two before I came on. That's all. That's all. But anyway, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying the split screen thing again. What I didn't realize though, Angel, is I really need to hashtag it. I was doing like the David stuff and they were being egged on. Yeah, I think some of them were Twisted Tea. Yes and no, Twisted Tea. I mean, I still have crap going on, but it comes and goes in waves, Sometimes it takes a little something to get me off my ass, to get me moving and in gear. Yeah, Angel did everything right. Come on now. But what do you mean they were egged on? You know what? Like I said, if they're feeling some kind of way, they're entitled to feel how they feel. I'm not discounting that. I'm not discounting that people aren't entitled to their feelings ever. But sometimes, just stop being so freaking goddamn petty. We were talking a little bit about David earlier, Twisted Tea, and man, you were right on the money. And Heather made a comment earlier that, because the defense wanted a really, really speedy trial. And now I agree with Heather. I think they want to slow down because I don't think they realized what the prosecution had. And you hit that nail on the head, Twisted. I didn't see that, but I watched the replay. David, here, I'll spell it. He's a singer. And he spells his name like this. Here, I put it in the chat. It's really stupid. Honestly, I never even heard of him until this whole thing. He allegedly unalived a very young girl. He was dating a girl. Well, he's now 21. Now, this whole thing started over a few years ago. Apparently, he started talking to this girl a few years ago online when she was 11. They were dating and having an actual relationship at 14. And she was found unalived in his car. And they finally arrested him. Yeah, Twisted Tea. My daughter told me about this today. They wanted all the info within 10 days of the first court date. Yeah, David is in jail. Yeah, he is. He's in jail now. But Twisted Tea, you hit that nail on the head, man. I don't the defense didn't, the defense lawyers didn't even know what they were dealing with, I don't think. Itami is David's alternative name. Itami? I don't know. His name's David something. Yeah, it's really disgusting story, Angel. It's I try to tread lightly talking about it when I talk about it, but I have to ask, where were this girl's parents? And this girl, I guess, ran away at some point in time. Angel ran away, but then came back home and then left again. And like 14-year, if I were running around, my parents would be, first of all, I would not be dating at 14. Oh, I did not know that, Heather. I never heard of that name either, though, to be honest with you. He's a very sick individual. Very, very sick. It's just something to talk about in the news till we find out where Miss Nancy Guthrie is. I don't know, guys. I don't know if we'll ever know the truth on Nancy Guthrie. Oh, absolutely, Twisted Tea. You're not being lame. It truly is. We'll never blame her parents from what I've heard. Well, what have you heard, Jennifer? And look, I'm not blaming her parents for what David did, okay? Because what he did is sick and disgusting. Allegedly did, for what David allegedly did. No, I haven't had a chance to yet, Twisted Tea. Like I said, I've been kind of staying away from a lot of stuff. Um, I'll be honest with you, Twisted Tea, that I've read up on certain groups like that and stuff, but I usually end up very let's just say my personality is very open and susceptible, and I don't like to leave myself open to certain things. So I kind of have to be in the right frame of mind. I don't blame them, but I do give them a huge well, yeah. That I think that's a better way to put it. A side eye. Letting your 14-year-old run around. Come on. There are certain restrictions you can put on the internet. Heck, Twisted Tea, it's dangerous for us adults too. That Storage Wars guy unalive because of bullying him. Yeah, Anita, I read up on that. Apparently, it was a guy local in his area that was targeting him and a bunch of other businesses in the area too. They were both hardworking people. She ran away multiple times, and David hid her. Listen, I'm not saying they weren't hardworking, and I'm not saying that they didn't try, but There was a point in time, Jennifer, if I'm not mistaken, that she actually came home and, why weren't the police notified at that point when she came home the first time that there was a 20-year-old running around with a 13-year-old? Huh? Like, don't you think the parents should have reported that? It's more of the online stuff and what's happening to the vulnerable young people. I don't think he went into detail about all of it. That was in an interview. Yeah, see, we also don't know. So, you know what? It's probably not right for me to judge either because we don't know the family dynamic of it. And that is the proud. I was thinking about it the other day. She was on video in August at home after she had been reported missing in April. Now, also in June or July, there was a family. Right, Heather. And that's what I'm referring to. At that point, why didn't the parents go, wait, what? You were with a 20-year-old or 19-year-old, however old he was at the time? Like, why was he not picked up then? That poor girl. Bad decisions, maybe, but too young. Parents are too trusting these days, in my opinion, and say my child would not. They, you're right, Mickey. And listen, 14 years old is one of those really weird ages. A lot of us Gen Xers, at 14 years old, Anita wrote 764 is some sort of cult. Oh, Twisted Tea. I'm running dual chat rooms. If you want to pop over to the other chat room, like back out of here and then pop on. Like if you go to my page, you'll see two instances of the show. So I'm running two different chat rooms. If you want to bounce over, maybe that's why you're not seeing her. Yeah, Heather, when you're 14 and you want to come and go as you please and your parents say no, you have problems with your parents. 764 allegedly, Twisted Tea, is that what you're telling? Is that the group you're telling me that David might be involved in, possibly? They have always said they hadn't seen her since April when the videos show. Right. That's what I mean. Now, is it possible they weren't home when those videos were made and she left before they came back? That's highly possible too. But if the neighbor's ring cam has it, don't you think the neighbors would have shown the parents? Like, why were the parents not going, oh, wait a minute, she was home and she left again? I'm with you on that, Heather. I'm with you on that. Okay, so you said so he might be affiliated. Um, I don't know. Maybe that'll come out more during the trial. So is this being done? Is this being done federal or is this state? See, I'm going off of StreamYard, so I'm seeing all of the comments. It looks like a bunch of you are over in the portrait version, which is fine, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, let's start. Okay, I'm here now. I do that sometimes. It helps push out into the algorithm. And I think what I forgot to do today though is I forgot to hashtag it with David and all that. Just trying to rebuild my audience, you know. Don't get me wrong, I love and appreciate all of you, but maybe get my show back up to where it used to be. I came over here where there were a lot more. Yeah, that's usually what people do, and that's fine. Sorry, I froze. She was on Ring Video with her family in August, but they deny ever seeing. Oh, so her family. It is confirmed that her family was there when she was on that Ring Video. Mickey Griggs, I'm back over here. Are you a little flip flopper, Mickey Griggs? Well, listen, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I've been on for 1 hour and 27 minutes. Holy heck. I usually cut it off at an hour. It's fine, though. I like chit chat with you guys. Maybe start doing hour and a half shows again. Start getting back into the algorithm. Yes, they were on the video. She was yelling at her name. Oh, okay. So they were actually on. Okay, that's what I wasn't understanding the other day, Heather, was I didn't know if, they might have been out for the afternoon and she stopped home and then got into a fight with the neighbors and then left. But they were actually physically on the video with her, so it's confirmed they were there. Okay, yeah. See, that just makes my point even stronger. This is why, and Jenny, don't think I'm not blaming the parents, but there's a lot of things that, when your 14-year-old runs away and comes home and runs away and comes home, and you're denying that they came home. Yeah. I have a small YouTube channel with no followers yet. So yeah, Angel's going on. No, they didn't, Eric. No, they didn't. They did not find Nancy yet. Yes, same as the cousin's video date and time stamped on it, her with her family. See, that's why I'm questioning the family. Like, dude, for real? If you're really worried about your missing 14-year-old, but you're going to deny that she came home a couple times in between? I don't know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Angel's on tonight. She already has a headstone. It's on Grave Finders. Eric, I think you're behind. Eric's behind on the chat. Yeah, we know she has a headstone. Are you talking about Edna? Please don't disrespect Edna in here, okay? I've said what I had to say about that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, you're talking about Nancy? Oh, Nancy already has a headstone? I'll be honest with you, Eric, I wouldn't doubt it. There's so many twists and turns in that Nancy case. But anyway, guys, I love you all. Try to be kind, and I will see you all in the next chat room, which is Angels at 9:15. Bye, guys.